I'm CWO4 Victor Pinion, U.S. Navy retired, telling some stories of my naval career. This one was when I was on shore duty at the Naval Auxiliary Landing Field at Crow's Landing, California. My family and I, we had bought a 4-bedroom house in Newman, California and renovated it, and that's where we lived. Well, my sons discovered there was a Boy Scout troop in town, and they wanted to join the Boy Scouts and asked me if I'd take them up to the building where they were meeting, and I did, and went in, dropped them off, and met the Scoutmaster, and I wasn't very impressed with them because none of them were wearing uniforms, and the Scoutmaster didn't seem very energetic about or enthused about the Scouts. So he asked me if I would help him. I said, well, I got something to do this evening, but maybe next month. Well, okay, so the next month I attended a meeting, and that's the last meeting that Scoutmaster attended. He wasn't a Scoutmaster at all. Matter of fact, he had been the single adult that did things with the Boy Scouts, in charge of them, sort of. But he had allowed their charter to expire years ago. So most of these boys, when they had joined the troop, it wasn't even an official Boy Scout of America troop. But they thought they were. What they did was they didn't even do the Boy Scout thing, nothing scouty, except after a ball game at the city park, they would go around and pick up aluminum cans and pop bottles to sell them and make a little bit of money. But then I found out later that the man pocketed that money. He didn't spend it on the troop. So, but he never attended another meeting, and he was hard for me to hunt down to try to get info from him. He didn't have any info, really. He had just been using and abusing them. And I searched out and found that the official local sponsor for the Boy Scout troop was the owner of the local lumber yard. And I went and talked with him. He said, man, you're the first person to come to me about the troop in many years, he said. Yeah, I sponsored them, he says, he said, I'm glad somebody's taking an interest in them. And I said, well, listen, I've never been in the Scouts. I don't know a whole lot about them. He said, well, would you like me to set you up with a meeting with the district representative of the Boy Scouts of America? The home office is up in Modesto. I said, yes, please. He said, when's your next meeting? And I told him. He says, where? And I told him. He says, okay, I'll call him, and then you stop by here in a day or two, and I'll give you info. Well, that all happened, and this guy's going to attend the next meeting, and he did. And he brought handbooks with him, and he brought samples of clothing articles and so forth, and just gave us an excellent training session about the Scouts. And he enrolled me as the Scoutmaster. And I didn't know a whole lot about being a Scoutmaster, but I am one because simply by default, I guess. But he re-enrolled and registered the troop. It was Newman, California, Boy Scout Troops of America, Troop 84, Troop 84. So I asked the boys what they wanted to do. We're going to do scouting things. We'll go on hikes, we'll go fishing, we'll make crafts, we'll do, what do y'all want to do? Well, it was close to the Christmas season, and they literally shocked me because they wanted to go sing door-to-door Christmas carols. Man, okay, we'll do that. Y'all know some Christmas carols? Yeah. Okay, so we went and we sang Christmas carols door-to-door. People would give them cookies or $1 or something like that, And another thing they wanted to do was to make a big wreath out of natural materials. So we went out in the countryside, we gathered holly and cattails and other natural things, and we made a huge wreath about 4 foot diameter. It turned out really pretty. Now, what to do with it? Well, there was a nursing home in town let's take it and give it to the old folks at the nursing home. So, okay, that's a good thing to do. So we did that. And the old folks at the nursing home were very interested in it, and they were wanting the boys to identify all the different things in the reef and all that stuff, you know. And that turned out to be a wonderful experience. Everybody really enjoyed it. The scouts, myself, and the old folks at the nursing home. Well, something else to do, and I think this may have been my idea. What do you boys think about a hike down to the river, the Stanislaus River, and back? Yeah, that'd be great. And we talked that over. And how about if we camp overnight? Well, maybe next time. Let's just hike down there and go fishing and then hike back. It's only 3 miles down to the river. So, okay. So we met up on Saturday morning at my house. My 2 sons were among the troops. And with our fishing gear, and we set out hiking. And about half of them were going to meet us at the edge of town. Well, among that half that's going to meet us at the edge of town was a chubby, burly, red-haired kid that was, if there was any kind of trouble in town, if somebody threw a rock through a window, if he didn't throw it, he was involved somehow. This kid was incorrigible. Well, that group at the edge of town, when we met them, we were all walking. Each had their BB gun. And they were already engaged in a BB gun war. Well, fortunate for me, my wife at the time come driving by. I had confiscated all the BB guns. And we put them in the trunk of our car, and she took them on back home. I said, you can get your BB guns back when we get back. Okay, we proceeded on down the river. We went fishing and so forth, and we had a picnic lunch, and we hiked back home, and they got the BB guns back. But on the way back, taking sides and war fighting, wrestling, fist fighting, all kinds of turmoil among those boys, I finally grabbed this burly-haired kid behind, maybe he wasn't burly-haired, he had short hair. I grabbed behind the neck, squeezed his neck, and I said, Kenny, his name was Kenny. Stop this. He said, I'm not doing that. I said, I know you're not actually doing it, but you're instigating it. Stop it. Well, I said, you either stop it if you want to continue being a member of this troop. He went over and talked to him, and in 30 seconds, it's quiet. They're not fighting anymore. They're not casting their fish hooks at each other anymore. And we had a pleasant hike on the way back. You know, Kenny became one of our best scouts. He squared away. He just needed somebody that would talk to him in a firm manner and let him know that what behavior was not acceptable. That's all it needed. It was simple. Okay? So the Boy Scouts did well.